Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, and then make predictions for next week's top 5. So let's get right on into it. Last week I predicted that number 1 would be Happy Death Day to You, number 2 would be Alita Battle Angel, number 3 would be the Lego Movie 2, the second part, number 4 would be Isn't It Romantic, and number 5 would be What Men Want. And I got a big old goose egg this weekend. I got literally none of my predictions right for this weekend. Like, wow, dude, I thought for sure that at least one of those would be right this weekend, but I don't know what happened. Number 1 was actually Alita Battle Angel. I did not expect it to get this much money. It made $27 million on the 3-day weekend, but since this movie opened up on Thursday, that actually adds to a domestic total of $36 million. Now, domestically, that probably doesn't look that big already, but when you look at the worldwide numbers, it is already sitting at $130 million, and it's on a budget of $170 million, so it's already off to a pretty solid start. It does need to get to $340 million to be considered a success. That's when they double their budget, but with a number like this worldwide opening up, that's pretty good for this movie, honestly. Like, I did not expect it to really do this well, but man, if they keep it up, they might actually be able to make another Alita movie at some point, which I think we all know they were planning on doing with the ending of the film. And hey, if they do get to that point financially, then that's really good for them. I'll applaud them for their success on that. Number 2, we have the Lego Movie 2, the second part, holding over actually pretty well. If you remember last weekend, it opened at around $34 million. A lot of people were a little disappointed in that, but this weekend, it actually made $21 million, so that's a little bit more than half of the opening weekend last weekend. That adds to a domestic total of $62 million, and worldwide, it is sitting at $97 million. So $3 million away from getting to $100 million worldwide. It still needs to get to about 101 more until it doubles its budget, but I think this movie's actually going to be doing pretty okay for itself. Like, I think it might be able to hold off pretty well, but then again, we have another big animated film coming out next weekend, so only time will tell how well this movie does at the end of the day. Number 3, we have Isn't It Romantic, making $14 million, adding to a domestic total of $20 million, and this is on a budget of $31 million, so it needs about $62 million to be considered a success, so about $42 million more to go. I know this movie did pretty well because this is, a rom-com kind of Valentine's Day themed movie. I'm not sure how well it's going to hold over. I assume it'll do fine overall, but I don't think it's going to have like a Lego Movie 2 kind of holdover. Number 4, we have What Men Want, making $10 million, adding to a domestic total of $36 million, and worldwide it is sitting at $38 million. So slowly it is getting to $40 million, which is the doubling point for its budget, and that's pretty good for the film. I don't have any interest on seeing it anytime soon. I'm not sure when I'm going to see it, but hey, at least financially it's doing pretty okay for itself. I know a lot of people are going out and supporting it, so that's pretty good. Number 5, I was shocked to see this, but Happy Death Day to You. Now remember, the first film opened with $26 million. Now this movie, the 3-day weekend opening, is $9 million, adding to a domestic total, because it opened on Wednesday, of $13 million. That is bad. Now keep in mind that the budget is only $9 million, and worldwide it is already sitting at $25 million, so it's already doubled its $9 million budget, and it's about $2 million away from tripling it, so that's actually pretty good, but that's the case for every Blumhouse movie, so that's not really saying much. I think at the end of the day, we're still going to get another Happy Death Day movie to close out this trilogy, but damn, the drop here, and maybe it's because it opened at such a busy time because you got Alita and Lego Movie, and maybe some people might have been thrown off because the first movie opened at around Halloween time, and now this movie's coming out like on Valentine's Day, so that maybe that threw people off. I'm not really sure though, because the first movie still got a lot of praise though from audiences and critics, so I'm not sure why it dropped this much. Number 6, we have Cold Pursuit, making $6 million, adding to a domestic total of $21 million, and there is no worldwide numbers as of right now, so unfortunately it's still looking like it's a pretty big flop because the budget is set at $60 million, and it's nowhere close to even surpassing that or doubling it. And some worldwide numbers maybe could help, but honestly I'm not really sure. Number 7, we have The Upside, making $5 million, adding to a domestic total of $94, and worldwide it is sitting at $103 million. This movie's still chugging along ever since it was released back in January, and that's still pretty good for this film. I'm glad that this movie got a lot of success out of it. Number 8, we have Glass, making $3.8 million, adding to a domestic total of $104 million, which is $34 million away from outgrossing Split domestically. I don't think it's going to do that though. However, I think there might be a chance for it to outgross Unbreakable worldwide wise. It needs 10 million more to outgross Unbreakable's worldwide total. Currently, Glass is having a worldwide total of 234 million, which is also 40 million away from Split's worldwide total. So I think it will be able to outgross Unbreakable both domestically and worldwide, but Split, I think it's got to beat there. But I think another thing worth mentioning about Glass is that it's actually in the top 5 highest grossing domestic Blumhouse releases, but it's 3 million away from outgrossing the film at the number 4 spot, which is the first Paranormal Activity film. So that's pretty good for this movie, continuing to rise in the ranks of the Blumhouse films. That's really good. Number 9, we have The Prodigy making 3.1 million, adding to a domestic total of $11 million, and it's 1 million off from doubling its $6 million budget, but I did look into it on IMDb, and it does have like multiple other places that it's going to be releasing soon, so I think it definitely will be able to double its budget. I'm not sure. I did see this film the other day, and I will get a review out soon, but with the ending of the film, I'm not sure if that was like guaranteed they want to make a sequel or just their way of just having a dark ending. Either way, I'm not sure if these numbers really warrant a sequel, but I guess it's up to them at some point because it will double its budget no matter what. And finally, closing out the video, Green Book coming in at number 10, making 2 million, adding to a domestic total of 65 million, and worldwide it is sitting at 126 million. So I think this is Green Book's last appearance in the top 10 before the Oscars next Sunday. So congratulations, Green Book, you had one heck of a ride here. Now it's time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5. Number 1, I'm going to predict is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. I think this movie's going to do pretty well. Number 2, I think will be Alita: Battle Angel. Number 3, Fighting With My Family. After having a limited run, it is going wide next weekend. Number 4, The Lego Movie 2, the second part. And number 5, Isn't It Romantic? But what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave it in the comments below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.